how many head coaches are doing what you're doing?
Like what I'm able to do now with Serenity and Boo Boo and Savon is just because of that hyper focus.
There is no atmosphere that's gonna save you.
I
from
don't know,
the
man.
Celtics.
Just, yo.
I think pressure now, I personally can't imagine whether it's as a basketball player, student, whatever, the pressure that is weighing down on young people now. Every move is monitored.
Let's just keep it a buck, all right?
And we're back with another episode of Keep It Above podcast, man. Episode 45. Episode 45. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Please.
Comment. On our way to 1,000, man. Thank you for everybody who's followed, who's dropping in, watching the show. Yeah.
We'll be there for next episode. I've been a little bit slow on the marketing, but we'll be there for next episode. We got a special guest today. Big special guest, my brother CJ Parker, man. CJ Parker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
So CJ, rundown of his current bio and some of his past bio. He's a head coach for Fitch girls basketball. He runs an AAU program with multiple age groups and is mainly focused on your side, mainly the girls.
Yes.
Mainly the girls. And which, in my opinion, honestly, I'm glad you're here because I be having my talks about girls basketball and how it's a cleaner brand of basketball, but people hate to hear that. But we'll talk about that later. Yes, CJ, he does all that. CJ is a homeowner. CJ is a giver to his community. He also is involved in Hearing Youth Voices. It's an organization out in our community that helps kids find their voice or helps youth in our community find their voice when it comes to politics, when it comes to just real world issues. Little bit of the background of him. He is a college graduate. School's in Massachusetts. Why is the name slipping my mind?
Northeastern.
He went to Northeastern, a big school in Massachusetts, a big school, very prestigious school. Averaged a double-double his senior. And I love to say this about him because, like our city loves to do, there was a lot of chatter about him when he first came into high school and questions about him being on varsity and stuff. And he showed his way. He showed his way, ended up averaging a double-double as a senior and was Mr. Always in the right spot. Mr. Always in the right spot. You need a rebound, he's there. You need somebody to throw you a dime, right, like a good post pass, he's there. Catch a rebound, you needed to kick out to the three-point line, he's there. So he was a big part of them having a successful team. You guys had a undefeated regular season your senior year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Undefeated regular season. He played with what we used to call it a Gatorade State Player of the Year, he was an All-State player. He wasn't the State Player of the Year, but he was one of the top 5 players in the state. And Colin Sawyer, Seth was really a baller for that team as well. Bate as well. You guys had some. You guys had some hoopers. Major, Mel. You guys. That's one of the things that I think helped you guys out as well too. You guys had that younger core that was gonna help out and be able to boost you guys as well too.
Yeah. Like Tyrell, Major would come in and give great minutes, and then we had a lot of veterans: Trey, Harry, Man.
You guys did have Man. Yep, he came over from Legend, and he was very scrappy guard for you guys. I know I'm getting a little bit too much, but I just have a lot of respect for CJ. He's done a lot very early on. We were just having this conversation about some of his accomplishments, and CJ's only a young 28 and has these accomplishments with giving back to his community in major amounts and being a homeowner. And just being a great example for the youth in our community, being a youth that has been born and raised in our community and submerged in our community from the time he was born. He is new. I don't care what team he's the head coach of. He's New London basketball. I don't care what nobody say. You want to say New London basketball, you still got to go through C.
No, I appreciate that.
All right. You got any words, C? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah.
Start?
Yeah, no doubt. First thing, I'm just happy to be here. I'll be tuning in, showing my dad the episodes, things like that.
That's my dog, yo.
Yeah, always great discussion. My dad loves you. He want to be on the show too. I know we talked about it.
Yes, Coach Parker, we got you. Yo, trust me, I've already talked to C, and trust me, I want you on here. There's a lot of people who be giving you a lot of unfair criticism, and I want you to set people straight, and I'm here to back you up. I'm the one who's running the streets. And I've always been like this. I'm going to let people know that it's straight. You got a standard, and you had a standard for your program, and that's why your program was successful for so long, and people don't like standards. We'll talk about that on another day, though. I got you, though, Coach. I got you.
I'll be happy to hear it. But just actually some of the things we were just talking about the other day. So I met Khalid when I was 9. We played in the infield together on the Clippers in Little League.
Yes.
And then fast forward, I was a 9th grader, Khalid's 12th grade year at New London, and I got to look up to one of, if not the best groups of athletes to come through New London. Basketball, football, baseball, I mean championships all across, and y'all really set the standard and kind of paved the way for, by the time me, Seth, Colin, and Abate got to our senior year, Brian Cespedes, we knew what it took to be successful. And so, yeah, that's why it's like a full circle moment. But, yeah, while I'm here, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Slept on Sports. I just make highlights for the kids of the area, whether it's an individual game, whether it's their season highlights, things like that. So go tune in. We got a lot of hoopers on the boys and girls side, and I try to showcase as many of them as I can. So, yeah, definitely tune in. And then you can follow my AU program I just founded this year, NLC Hoop Hustlers on Instagram. And we might make some noise. Our 10th grade team is we got a little squad.
I'm excited to see. And the best part about it is you get to see everything from like these YouTube channels, these channels that you guys have. You get to see the highlights. You guys get to see what you guys do. So I think that's one of the coolest parts, especially for the kids. One of the biggest things, and I know everybody hates this like film era, and I kind of do too, but the best part or the easiest way for your kid to get better faster is for them to watch film of themselves. And for them to see like, okay, I did this wrong, or this is why I did this wrong, or okay, this is what you mean when you're telling me I'm not sitting and I look like I feel like I'm sitting. But okay, let's go find a drill that's going to make this work because I know that it's wrong now. So film is going to be the way to you getting better as fast as possible and being able to be successful.
It's different though, like film and highlights.
It's not. It's not, because when you're going through your highlights, you can also still see some of the things that you could have done. You can take some tough-ass shots. A lot of highlights are tough shots. Made tough shots. You rarely put like an open layup that you got. If it was a very tough move that you use, yes. But like you rarely use like an open layup. So if I'm taking a tough shot, how could I have gotten an easier shot? Or who else was open on this play? Could I have passed the ball out and went and got it back in an easier spot to make it easier for me? I could have got a 3 on this play instead of taking a tough 2. Like there's just
But that's why
things.
I say it's a little different, because you get to see the whole scope of thing when you have your film. Like, okay, you hit your tough shot. What did you do back on defense? Like you get to look at stuff like that. That's why I say it's a little highlights in I feel like film is too different.
Guess what? When you have highlights, guess what you got? The full game film.
Some people don't.
He does. That's what I'm telling you.
No, he does.
That's what I'm telling
that's
you.
Film, though. When you say film, I say, all right, I get film.
Yeah,
highlights is too
but
different.
he has a program, and what I see in a program, me and CJ already have like an agreement to like be able to use some of his content for syndication and for game speed. So we clip up his content and then we put it on the YouTube channel and shout him out and get people to his channel. So even with that, it's still that's the all of it's still the athlete part. Yeah, but that's the thing. He has athletes. He has an AAU program.
Yeah.
Most of these people that are like he gets so he has a girl, and this is what I talk about, like full circle and how you make your business full circle. He has an AAU program, which is girls.
Yes.
He is a girls coach for basketball, and he makes all this comes full circle. So if you go look at a lot of his highlight tapes, are girls that he coaches too.
Yeah.
So if there are girls that he's coaching, these girls that he's gonna see, so he can take their film and show them individual. You can have your own individual film session with these girls and be able to help them see and just steal the film. It's just, you and I both know that the highlights and the clips and stuff are what it is for social media, YouTube monetization. So you got to cover that part. But having that other library in the back to be able to feed your student base
1000%.
is what he has. But that's the thing. I think you're thinking that he doesn't. He has a student base
I wasn't
already.
speaking strictly to CJ.
Yeah.
I was just talking about like as far as the mass. He's going deeper into depth.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. CJ's doing something different than what I'm speaking about.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
talking about the regular person saying, "Yo, I just want my highlights." Like a person, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't speaking to CJ when I see that.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking to like, oh, there's a difference because some kids just want their highlights.
Yeah, but even
That's what I'm saying.
with anything that is extensive, people are gonna want a short version. So
That's actually something I did this year, was split up like the season highlights more than like the past might be like a 7-minute video because it may be part 1, part 2. And this year I made like 4 parts for kids that, you know, every 5 games can accumulate 2.5 minutes of highlights.
that makes sense.
And like you were saying, wow, getting the highlights, especially Jada Leese when she was a freshman, I'd clip certain plays, whether it's a good, bad, whatever, some room for improvement, and just send it to her and just ask questions. Like,
So I got, because I don't think did we mention him being in high school? I don't think you shout out the team that you.
Yeah, he didn't say it because I mentioned it.
You did mention the high school that you was going for. How many head coaches are doing what you're doing? Because I heard that film when they doing film, the head coach is not the one that's cutting it or the one that's doing it. You're the one that's actually doing it.
right. Yeah.
So how many head coaches is doing that?
In terms of taking it a step further and compiling,
Yeah.
I compiled the clips for all of my varsity players that had enough and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Role player or not, like there's no other school.
That's
other
dope
coach on
though.
that.
That's super
that's
dope, man. That's super dope.
Yeah.
That's
That's going
opportunity.
that extra mile for your player.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's super dope, man. So
Tell me, bro, having huddle was one of the greatest tools for me when I was in high school. I use it. This is when I talk about preparation. I used to go into every game prior to the football game, and that whole week, I'm watching the film that the coaches have up of the other team. In the beginning of the week, I watch my mistakes the first day, the mistakes from the last game. From then on, from the rest of the week, we're watching exactly what my assignment is and what my assignment's doing that whole time. And then, you just film. I promise you guys, film is the secret. And also, you don't think that you just got to do film. Like, obviously, you have to do everything else. But if you're not watching film, that will enhance your game a lot, especially if you just like take the time. Try watching film with somebody though, or like even if you can get on like a Zoom call with coaches and be able to have them like give you tips on like how the game is supposed to go or how you could have did better. That might help too. All right, so did we even do our intros, Coop? Did you do your intro?
We got straight to CJ.
All right, bet. That's all that matters. As long
that
as we got
matters. There you
CJ's
go.
intro done, that's all that matters. We had to get his. Honestly,
1000%.
I told you got a lot going on, bro. So it's tough to like stir away from the conversation. I'm Keeks. Oh yeah, remember last time I said I'm trying to get away. I'm on a journey to try to get away from using the word in conversation. So let me take that back. I'm Keeks. You can follow me at GSFK860. That is the Game Speed page on Instagram, and that's free training for the kids in the community, so make sure y'all follow.
This your boy Coop. You can follow me at Coop_1988 on most platforms.
Cool. All right, so everybody knows we're here with CJ Parker as of now. We've been in that episode and just dove in, kind of. So let's go to the first question for CJ. We got a few that kind of, honestly, I wrote down a couple more after while we was talking because they really just, the questions need to be asked in my opinion. So for the first question, can you break down hyperfocus? Because Keith Porter talked about that on our episode, and I know you just talked about it. We both just talked about it. Can you break down how you do that and why you do that for kids? Because I think kids look at a lot of the outside of, all right, yes, I am doing this, but I'm so much focused on other things, like having a primary focus to always come back to and making sure that drives most of the way, or most of the things you do helps that primary focus. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. I think for me, there's been like two things that I've mostly been passionate about my whole life, and the main one has been basketball, of course. And with my dad being a coach and my mom being a coach too.
Yes, she is.
Like, she was an assistant on the state championship team at New London for the girls. You know, that's just always been something like my goal is to become a basketball coach and like a guidance counselor. Like, not necessarily from a young age, but once it got time to figure out, all right, what is it I want to do? And all of my endeavors have basically, whether it's my quote unquote free time, whether it's professional, et cetera, has been focused on putting myself in a position to support young people reaching their goals, which is my other main passion. And then basketball, and what that's looked like is just learning and growth over time. Like, I started training people in basketball, like Jabari Jones, his sophomore year, and Josiah Munir, my little cousin, who was a good player, just never tried out for the team. But even still, we spent every day. Toby May, Bartlett, and Jabari ends up being, I believe he was a third-team All-State player.
Yes.
And
he had a good year over at Ledyard.
He had a great year at Ledyard, like putting up games with like 22 points, 17 boards. Like, that boy was going crazy, and ended up going to Mitchell to play. And I had a full circle moment with him where we were almost able to bring him on board at Avery Point while I was an assistant over there. And I look at my workouts with them back then, and sure, I knew the fundamentals. Like, I was getting them better, but it's almost like I did a disservice because there's so much I learned since. Like, what I'm able to do now with Serenity and Boo Boo and Savon is just because of that hyper focus. Like, whether it's watching games and figuring out, okay, Savon and Serenity can move like this person. This can something that can be incorporated into their game. And I saw when Keith was on here talking about breaking down film for the professional players and getting that intricate, I was like, man, that's pretty wavy. And that's kind of just like what it takes. And I've tried to just put my passions forward. So when I talk to people, say in an interview, and it has to do with a position facing young people or a position with coaching, they can see like the commitment that goes behind it. And it's just, my dad always told me, you just got to put yourself in do everything you can to put yourself in the best position possible. And then you just kind of hope for the best from there. But you have to have a focus. Almost everything I do, thankfully I get to do things and get paid for things that I love. And I think like that's an important goal to have. We could all make more money doing things that we don't like to do, but I think all of us do things that we love to do. And that's just important for me.
I feel that, bro.
1,000%.
I feel that. So to speak to a little bit of his hyper focus, what I mean by that is he just explained it like definitely like his hyper focus very well. But I also want to just highlight the fact that he has, like we were just talking about basketball or NBA. He is a diehard Lakers fan. Kobe, my dog, just like me too. So yes. So he doesn't even know much that's going on with the Lakers because he's hyped. Because the Lakers are not women's basketball. He can tell you more about college women's basketball than he can about NBA because college women has a direct correlation to his hyper focus in high school girls basketball. So this is what I'm talking about. Like everything, he goes higher for the divisions, and I know he probably watches the WNBA. I know you've been tuned into Keith Porter, watching what he does and stuff because he's at the next level. So he's doing everything from every aspect to be able to accomplish his goal, and it's beautiful to see. And at such a young, again, he's 28. He's 28, man. Got an AAU program, head coach, and these are all the things that are connected inside of his system, inside of his working brain. So it's, bro. Again, I can't even speak enough to it because this is how my brain runs and how my brain works, and this is something that that hyper focus was part of what I was missing when I was in my 20s and going, like, I had all the ideas going and everything, but the hyper focus to have that one thing that you're going to go back to and one thing that everything is going back to draw back to is something that I have now, and it helps. But again, you having that in your 20s, bro, your 30s are yours, bro. I'm telling you, bro, your 30s are yours. Man. All right, Coop, you got anything to add? Any questions?
No, I'm rocking with y'all.
All right.
I'm rocking with it.
I think if there's one thing I'd add, because everyone has, like you said, it's the ideas, because I've certainly been there where I'm like, I have all these ideas too, but not actually taking the steps to make them come to fruition. And it's like, if you're putting out a brand for yourself, you also want to make sure that you're living up to that.
Yeah.
That expectation.
If I tell an athletic director in an interview and a player, I'm going to do everything I can for you, I have to do everything I can. Like, I have to go compile the list of coaches. I have to, like, no matter how long it takes, like, it's just, I think, living up to the standard you set for yourself.
That's big. It's big, see. I'm telling y'all, that we get the best interviews. I promise you guys do not get better interviews than us. I do not. That's one thing I don't like to be cocky about much, but I'm telling y'all, no other y'all don't get better interviews than us. I'm telling y'all right now. All right. Can you speak a little bit? We've talked about NILs. NILs are a big and hot topic and have been ever since they've started. Can you speak to how it's affected high school basketball in Connecticut, and then kind of like get a little bit smaller with Southeastern Connecticut, and probably like the differences on like how it probably hasn't affected over here too much more than it's affected probably like a big city or something?
Yeah, I think, well, one thing, the number one rated senior in the country for girls, her name is Aaliyah Chavez. She just committed to, like, Oklahoma.
Curly hair Spanish?
Curly hair,
I know you're talking about.
bucket. Like, I saw her play at Rucker Park last year, and she's nice.
Bro, I be watching her for live.
Facts. Yo. That's
I
perfect,
promise.
yo. So you're already hip. She was saying, like, if you want me, the NIL has to be like, I don't know, I think she said like 1.1 million or something like that. That's the only way I'm signing. So I'm assuming Oklahoma said, we got you with that. And also, she would become one of like the top 3 earners as like an incoming freshman if they actually committed to that. So it's like just a recruitment process. That's a whole different world. And I guess there's opportunities where it can start to trickle down in the next few years into high school. I'm not sure if that's a state by state. I'm not exactly sure, but
I think somebody in Florida. Remember we covered somebody in high school Florida.
Either the
player of football.
Yes,
it was a football player who caught a deal.
Yeah,
for
in Florida.
So was it from his high school though?
It was high school.
But was it from his high school?
I don't think it's from the high school.
Because so like high school players can
get
endorsements now. Like that's a part of the the NIL like deal.
Okay.
So
I don't know if
they
it's
can
from
get
high
it.
school.
Yeah. So that's the
Yeah,
only
I
thing.
don't
If high schools are giving out money, bro.
Oh,
they've been giving out money.
Let me.
No. Cool. No.
Legally,
Thank you.
Legally,
If they're on record giving out money like
Right.
bro, no.
No,
They gonna
let me tell you.
have commercials with kids with money like this over.
Man, it's getting serious.
To that exact point, think about probably the best high school basketball job you could have is Montverde. Right? I mean, they get kids from all over the world.
Yep.
Best team in the country just about every single year.
They had Cooper Flag. They had multiple people on that team.
Multiple NBA players every year. Multiple top 100 players every year. IMG is the same way. So what I'm about to say is either, because I'm blanking on which one it was, either the IMG or the Montverde basketball coach left to go coach at Spire Academy in Ohio, where LaMelo had went, if y'all remember that, because they're going to be giving NIL money as a prep school.
So he's trying to
like
catch
the
a
school
bag.
itself.
He's trying to catch a bag.
Yeah.
Legally.
He said, shoot, I ain't gonna have me jumping through ropes. What am I hiding for?
Gotta get hush money.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's on its way. And I think, obviously, we know when you look at public schools and states and Catholic schools, that's historically been the challenge. Is like, okay, as an urban public school, how many kids am I going to lose to my local Catholic school? Like, when we played Trinity Catholic, well, you played, feel me, I watched. When we played Trinity Catholic, kids from the Bronx playing. Like, this is a high school in Connecticut. Yeah. And that's kind of what you were dealing with. Nowadays, as a high school coach, not only can you lose kids there or it's just a school choice in general, there's magnet schools everywhere. And you're seeing urban basketball fall off a cliff because the talent is just dispersed. Like Hartford Public, Weaver, Buckley, Harding, Bassett, Bridgeport Central, like schools like that are struggling now because there's 9 or 10 magnet schools their kids can go
right
to.
Right around them. And everybody want to go be the man.
Everybody want to go be the man. And
I was just talking to him about it. The fact that y'all such a small town and so much talent comes from like as far as basketball and some football and stuff like that they feel like they got to go to another school to get that shine. Like y'all produce like some athletes. It's weird. Yeah. Y'all produce, and now I'm saying, and then Khalid be telling me, yo, he's from New London. He's from New London. He's from.
Cool. Be like, yo, he's nice. I'm like,
so
yeah,
why is he
from
not
here
here
too?
I be asking, so why they not here? Like, why they not playing? Like, I don't like. Bro, it's crazy.
But also, you gotta look at it like this. Especially like this year was an anomaly. Definitely. I don't think there's ever been this much New London talent spread across the ECC that has been winning this much this year. Between New London, Fitch, Grosso, and I'm trying to think, and St. B's.
And all of them got New London kids in it.
And made it to the semis or
their
the
best,
tip.
All of their best players are New London kids.
Yep.
That's weird.
Like,
I
mean, it's not weird because how do you? We had problems. New London had problems with lineups already this year because there was so much talent and there was like people leaving during the season. People had different engagements, so then you had to find out okay what you should do with this one. What's gonna be the punishment? And then the punishment's got to match everything. So everything is always and nobody's ever happy. So it's. That was going on in New London while you had all these people at these other schools.
And wrong, that was wrong word
and prep schools.
That's just strange.
Because yes, Dev is at prep school. Yes,
these strange. That's strange to have that much talent in one area and feel like you have to disperse somewhere. Just that's crazy. Imagine y'all did have all these athletes.
Different.
I don't know how you manage the characters and everything.
If we did have all these athletes, a lot of people would be playing different sports.
Facts.
A lot of our other sports programs would be better.
I feel like it used to be more.
Everybody
like
loves basketball.
I'm about to say you was a double athlete.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody loves basketball. Because if I was in today's day and age where everybody's reclassing, everybody's going to different schools and stuff, I probably would have stuck with basketball as well. I found that I got hurt. I broke my ankle when I was in 8th grade. And then after I came out and then I was about to play AAU and I was going to all these different places. And basketball is a sport of like money. And like my parents had it to be able to push me out and be able to get me to different places. Like I could have played AAU in New York. I could have played for Gauchos and stuff. But I was looking at like a different picture for myself. My sister was in college, and my parents don't even really know this, but my sister was in college. She was like she went to an expensive school, and it wasn't on scholarship. So I hear my parents talking about that. So why would I want my parents to pay for that when I can try to football? You have a field. All I gotta do is speed workouts. All I gotta do is go out, do one-on-ones, go run my hills, go lift. Good. Basketball, you gotta travel. It's more It's more entry. Yeah, it's more it's more entry.
I never thought about that.
So yeah, I just went the football route to try to get a scholarship for football because it was easier. It was easier.
You always said that, but you never
exactly.
Broke it down.
Exactly, not easier. It was more accessible.
Yeah,
it was more accessible, and I really didn't want my parents to have to go through all my parents like to chill. My parents they gave me and my sister a great life. So I feel like it wasn't necessary to have to go do all that if I could just go out and try to earn a scholarship in another way.
Understood.
I feel like that's the easiest way to say thank you.
That accessibility piece, that's really why I started the AAU program, because like we talked about, there's a lot of talent around here, but not everybody can go play for Expressions or go to New York. And for some kids can't go to, I believe, in Hartford. Like it's too far.
Exactly.
And so if there's enough quality talent where if you just make something that's focused on the kids, price-wise, then you can still go. You don't necessarily have to go to Ohio and Kentucky to get recruited. There's plenty of live tournaments, high-quality live tournaments in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, which still, that's tough for some kids. Got to get sponsors for some kids, of course, but it's more feasible. And like you said, you're seeing the demographics of the NBA change from like the early 2000s to now because it's money. Like you have to have money to just have access to certain things.
They're talking about college basketball changing too and how it's mature now. This has been the most it's been the most watched NCAA tournament in history. 2, they said that there's a lot more number 1 and number 2 seeds finishing out because a lot of these major programs are offering the money and people are staying. If you don't have to leave.
The age is older in NCAA right now.
A lot more veterans.
Yeah, a lot more veterans and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Why leave when your NIL deal's going to be bigger than your rookie salaries?
Thank you.
Olivia Miles from Notre Dame, she just decided she would have been the number 2 draft pick behind Paige, and she decided to do a grad transfer year somewhere.
Nah, bro. NILs, bro, they flipped it. Gilbert flipped the switch on everybody. I don't know if you saw, but Gilbert was talking about, I'm going to train my son. I'm going to give him basketball school, and then he going to go to the NBA. And now his son signed to USC. So they must be offering some stuff and just like guaranteeing a whole lot because, bro, there's no way like you change your mind from having a plan to just go get millions of dollars in the NBA, but it's just like, all right, let me make this pit stop at college real quick when that really wasn't my plan. So it got to be something.
No, it's different. And I love what he did having his son play at a public school in LA rather than sending him to like, where all the other kids play.
Like all the
Sierra
Mount
Canyon
Verdes.
And the Mount Verdes, like, because he certainly could have did that, but he's playing public school basketball. And now in LA, that's a little different. The major city, that's high quality basketball, but like I think he's made a lot of good moves for him so far.
Yeah, he be playing like some smaller guards in his, but he's also a 6'5" guard. You're not gonna be playing like until you get to like actual college basketball. It's tough to see like a whole bunch of 6'5" guards like you. Right. So but he has played like other talent. I've seen him played against Trevor Ariza's son. Trevor Ariza's son's a bucket too. Nice. So yeah, I like where I see his game going. I like where I see him going. These NIL times, man. These things are scary. These things are scary because it's a lot of change very fast, and I think a lot of coaches have been talking about how it's tough to build a program around NIL.
Yeah, you see Dan Hurley's 60 Minutes interview, 50% of the team, and I'm sure that's not an anomaly. I'm sure that's nationwide. Half the team right now is over 1,000 players from D1 and D2 are in the basketball portal. 2,500 kids,
bro.
Portal.
That's I don't know. It's just a different world. That's for sure.
They are their own business now.
Yeah.
They gotta carry themselves that way. Like, if I ain't getting the bag here, I gotta go somewhere else right now and get that bigger bag. Let me test the portal.
But also too, that speaks to like the day and age too, though, where everything needs to be now. With like phones, technology, accessibility, everything needs to be now. So people aren't even trying to like see out these opportunities before they're trying to just go either chase a new bag or feel like it wasn't the right fit. Before y'all know, it will be senior year. Just like high school, that jumping around shit, bro. Like, again, if you like have like a very good plan and you know where you want to go and it's gonna like increase your value, your money, your playing time, good. But don't think that it's all about just having mad options. And you think that, well, this wasn't the perfect, or trying to find a perfect fit. There's no such thing as a perfect fit, in my opinion. People like to say, well, this school is the perfect. No, you bought in. You bought into that coach's system. You need to buy into coach's system and be coached. You're already getting money to be there. Why not be coached? But what do I know? All right. Can you speak about AAU? There is, oh my gosh, we talk about AAU a lot too. And something that we talk about is training versus AAU. And that's not to say that you can't do both, but people will stack up on AAU teams and programs, like play for 2 or 3 AAU teams and then not train, or think that playing for their AAU team suffices for them training. Can you talk about can you just talk about your thoughts about that and how you trained your players in the offseason, like Boo Boo, Savon, and Serenity?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like you said, there has to be a balance. And with AAU, it's such a commitment. Like, yeah, it's not practice 5 days a week, right? But you're talking maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. Then your whole entire weekend is dedicated to AAU, where you probably don't have time to train. But realistically, depending on what your goals are, you probably need to be training 4 to 5 days a week on just skill work, let alone, weight room, things like that.
Speed and agility and stuff.
Yeah, we, Savon, KK, Serenity, Boo Boo, Kamaya, Jada Lee, a lot of kids, Monet and Tyler, every point. We're in the weight room, we're on the court, and splitting up that time and focusing on game situations. And then when it's time to get in the game, now you work on what did we talk about. So, boom, if you're coming off this move, this is what you're looking for. Now we have to apply that for a game. And I think right now people are too focused on playing games, especially, and even with, like, younger kids, like 4th grade, like kids are playing games nonstop. You don't need to play 5 games in a week. No. You need to practice 5 times in a week. Like,
there you go. You need to form shoot 5 times in a week.
Yeah. No, exactly. And always starting with form shooting. I mean, and working on the same things over and over and over again. It's about consistency. It's not about, I can make these 25 moves. I can hit these tough shots at 30%. It's about, I need to be able to make these translatable shots at a high clip.
Gilbert Arenas was talking about Kobe and learning to work out and talking about shooting 50 mid-range pull-ups. And it's just like everybody wants to, and he said everybody want to throw in something a little bit after. And it's like, no, 50 regular pull-ups. You need to understand, and that's what I be trying to tell kids too. You need to understand what your perfect release is, what your perfect jump shot is, so that when you go up and it's off, okay, quick fix. I know what I did wrong. So it's just, you need to get those reps, and those 50 makes. And it's just like, no, don't throw nothing in. 50 makes. Right. But then it's just like, it's tough doing. That's kind of why I like individuals sometimes a little bit more than full on like free community, because sometimes kids come and just like want the help. And there's nothing wrong with coming to get the help. But also, I get to be like a little bit more detailed when I have like a player like Liv. I have a player like Tayshawn, Pedro and stuff, Braylon. Those are the players like I can be like, okay, we worked on this today. Make sure you work on this week at the court. Make sure that you go home and watch this person do this, and then we're going to come back and work on it and show me what you've seen. And same thing with like film and stuff. So it helps being able to have the kids that buy in too.
For sure. And I think a perfect example of what you were just saying, like having that discipline to really focus, even if it's tedious, on the same move. Like when Boo Boo is a sophomore, he want to throw in a fadeaway on certain drills. I'm like, we'll get to that. And y'all saw it this year. He's hitting fadeaway jumpers. Yes. And he did at a high clip. But 2 years ago, we're not taking that shot. You have to hit a straight-up pull-up before you can take that dribble and fade away, et cetera. Like, and he bought into that.
And you can tell he does.
Off.
Yo, you can tell he does. My first time working him out, bro. And even after, like, usually when somebody comes with, like, their coach or their trainer, they're on point, and then they come after without him, it's probably, like, a little bit of a drop-off. There's no drop-off in Boo Boo. There's no drop-off. You can tell that you've literally been telling him, like, yo, I don't want to hear the bullshit. There's no extra moves. Come down, do this move, and that's it. And then we're going to go on to the next one. after you've made this many and after you've made this many in a row, and there's no discussion until you've done it.
Exactly.
And so it's, bro, again, you can tell, you can ask anybody that comes in and like have seen him work out like while you haven't been there. Bro, he is on point. On point, yo. I rave about how he works out on the time. Like even, and one of the things that, and a lot of people find the mid-range tough because they don't elevate on their mid-range. He does. Mm-hmm. He does that. Everybody, you see Boo Boo hitting all those mid-ranges this year, it's because he elevates on his jump shot. He elevates, but also he elevates in workouts. People get to workouts and get to the mid-range and just want to act like they're just shooting regular or just like shoot without any lift when you know you're going to have people that are between 6'2" and 6'6" trying to block your shot. Yes, you're going to have to jump. Or even somebody that's your height, you're going to have to jump. That's something that he was great at. You know who else was great at that? Savon. Mm-hmm. You know who else is good at that? Serenity. So it's just like, bro, like, and honestly, Jada Lee says too. I want to, that's something like, oh, and honestly, I want to talk to you about, like, I think, and this isn't like anything like bad, so I can say it on live. I think Jada Lee's like going into next year being able to play off 2 would be like a beautiful thing for her. And I know like that's something that you already planned on and something that you already like scoped out or something, bro. But I just want you to know that I'm here with you, bro. Yep, I'm here with you because yo, I love her game and always have. So yeah.
Yeah, nah, she can play. One of the kids know one of my favorite things because it's always setting a goal. Like you said, this how many you gonna make, and you're not going to jog through it. It's not going. There's not going to be any lapse in effort until you reach that goal, and it's always get yourself out the drill. Like you want to move on, you got to get yourself out the drill, and that has developed, I think, a mental toughness in everybody that I've trained over the past couple years. Where whether it's in a game, a different workout, they know I just got to keep going, and you can see it.
Bro, you saw it in Boo Boo this year too. Not just from a basketball standpoint, but from picking people's heads up all year. I've watched him from time to time, and I've seen, and this is not just coming from me, somebody that is training him. This is coming from multiple people that have came up to me and told me this, and like, yo, have you seen Boo Boo? Like, yo, he be picking people's heads up. People look like they're out of the game sometime, and he's going over there to pick people up, and that's what you love to hear. And like, yo, bro, just again being able to have the opportunity to be able to train a kid that people are coming up to me about, and I'm like, yo, like that's what's up, bro. And again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of that process, bro, because he's a 1 in a million kid. He really is.
Yeah,
he really is.
Nah, we were blessed for him to come through and stay 4 years at New London.
And he's from New London.
He's from New London. Yeah. He's a New London through and through type kid. And he texted me before the state championship game because there's always uncertainties on what kids are going to do. And he always remained committed. Like, I want to bring a banner back to New London. And, you know, he did what he could.
Yo, shoot. And anything that happens after, they win a ring next year, next few years after, that's because of you. You did bring it. If they win one in the next few years, you did bring a ring back to New London. Because like I said before, bro, you ain't make it easy for these young boys. You didn't make it easy, and you gave them a way. You gave them a path to be able to follow, working out, freaking being in the books, being a good teammate, being coachable, all that stuff. You displayed everything all around this year. All around. And honestly, and again, like I keep saying about Savon too, bro, he bought in this year after not having an off season.
Right.
Not having an off season. Coach is like, yo, like we want to make sure we ease you in so that we can have you for the long run. And he's like, yo, I don't know if this is like I don't know if that's the position I need to be in. And he bought in.
He did.
He bought in. So I like, bro, that's the type of mentality that's gonna always like push you forward on any team, bro. And the off season this year, bro, I already know your offseason this year going to be a 1.5. I already know.
Savon's going to be on it. It's so sad. That's like the most poorly timed injury you can have in basketball.
Bro.
Is the spring of your junior year. That's when you're hoping to get whatever level you're trying to go to, some notice, at least build some relationships, and really fine-tune your game for your senior year. And the season that he had, like you said, he came back for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was his first time
Playing,
back and
literally.
playing, and the season he had is remarkable with all that considered. And I'm excited for him because he has a work ethic that can take him far, and he's another rare kid, just through and through. Great student, like just like a thoughtful, curious.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always asking questions. He's someone that we really sat down and watched film, discuss like decision making, and like talk about this is how you, when you do watch the NBA or college, analyze these things because now you can translate them. And I saw him making plays this year. I'm like, I know he was watching film.
You know he watches film, and I can tell you, like a great example of how, bro. A lot of kids do not use their ball fakes, and a lot of kids do not use people's momentum to their advantage. So if I'm running hard and you're chasing after me, you're chasing me, your momentum's going to keep bringing you this way. You don't know when I'm going to stop. So if I catch and then I give you a hard jab this way while your momentum's already bringing you this way, you're going to keep going this way. Now I have this space open to where I don't have to go around you. I can just go straight downhill. Savon does that to a T. To a T, bro. And it's just, and then he gets into that mid-range and then off two, like you're supposed to. Mid-range, boom. So I just can't wait to see what he looks like with an offseason because you're taking away, like, the growth in his athleticism that he was supposed to have, and then also just the growth in his skills.
Right.
Because a lot of his handle would have been tighter, like a lot of the decision making, like on the basketball court, you're taking away 4 months of like actual like basketball, like seeing reads and stuff. Like that's all like growing educational for basketball too. So it's tough. And I'm saying 4 months, but I'm just thinking of like that 4 like core months in the summer to where like kids are like usually have like their biggest growth, but it's way more than 4 months.
No, it definitely is. No, it definitely is.
Shit, man. All right. Shout out everybody, yo. Shout out everybody, yo. All the kids are great. All the young men are great and just prospering and then just trying to do what you can. We know that everybody's trying to figure out their way in life, so we try not to be too critical on young men trying to figure stuff out in a tough world.
Preach.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of NBA playoffs. It's not the playoffs yet, we obviously know, but we want to see who do we think is going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals, and just talk about some of our thought processes behind it, because I kind of think some teams are not who we think they are, and then there's some teams that I think are just going to show up. But what are we thinking? Who's your Eastern Conference Championship matchup?
We got the Boston. You said Eastern?
Yeah.
We got the Boston Celtics versus them bad boys.
I knew. Why lie?
Stop playing with me.
Why lie?
You heard it here first. While everybody's staying stagnant or going lower, we growing, baby. We growing more confident every single day, baby.
You guys are OKC.
Bad boys.
You guys are not that nice. You guys are not the y'all are
come out and play.
Y'all are scrappy. Y'all are scrappy. Thank you. Stop playing.
I think it most likely would be Celtics and Cleveland. They got the top two. I think they're gonna finish out top two. Like I told you before, I don't think nobody want to see Pistons though.
No Knicks.
Right
no Knicks.
I'm scared. I mean, as far as the Pistons, I'm scared of the Knicks a little bit, but nah, the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, as much, I just can't get with his game, man. He's all right. Man. I just can't get with Karl Anthony Towns' game, man. I don't feel like he got that.
You don't got that dog? I knew you was about to say
that dog, man. It I don't know. I don't feel like he got that mean streak. I won't say dog. That mean streak, like, yo, I'm about to take over some shit.
I think
Kata do that.
I think he does off that.
Kata do it. Yo, that boy turned into an animal.
That's one. Bro, that's one thing I will say, bro. That's a bad. That's a bad.
Don't leave us.
Kate is a bad.
Don't leave us, man. Don't leave us, man.
And I know
we're missing one piece, though. I feel like we're missing just maybe one.
Y'all need a vet.
It's such a young team.
I need a vet.
I wanted to say vet, but I feel
Who's y'all
like
big
I
right now?
start
Who's y'all center?
Durant.
Durant, he's
yeah,
balling.
he's
He's
balling.
balling. Yeah, y'all need a vet.
I think Stewart needs to get out of there. I mean, even though he might not need to get out of there. I like he's the one that brings the edge, that keeps the edge.
Yeah,
we definitely need.
that's
he's
meta
like
war.
Haslam.
He meta war peace.
He's like Haslam. Like he's like Udonis Haslam. For the team. Like I feel like. You know who I really want out of there? I want freaking Tobias Harris out of there, man. Get him.
Oh
out
yeah,
of there.
he a money waster.
I want him out of there. I think we need it. I think that's where if we get a decent a veteran star, don't even need to be an all-star. Star in the small forward position.
But like
Tim
who?
Hardaway been balling.
But who wants to come to
I
Detroit?
know, man. That's the
That's only to like, cause y'all really got like an enticing team that I would say somebody like KD would make y'all like super good if you guys just like worked around KD and having Cade like, bro, that would be bananas. But just you guys don't have the market for it in my opinion.
We don't. That's the suck part about it. Nobody want to come there. We ain't really going. Or if we do get the stars after their hell none came down, like let me just go to Detroit. But yeah, man. Like I know about Pistons, man. I just know that nobody want to see us in the playoffs. Right now we at 6th seed. I think we might make it up to the 4th seed. To be honest with you,
the 1 seed. I think seeds don't matter.
You don't think so?
No.
That's your matchups though.
The hell does seeding matter for?
Matchups. So
nobody's beating the Boston Celtics.
So you don't want to be the 8 or the 7.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
7
You
or
don't want to be
8.
the 8 or 7. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to be an 8? So seeding matters. You don't want.
What
to
does it matter if you have to see the Celtics no matter what?
Eventually, yeah.
My thing is, okay, say for this, like the Pistons, we never been there, right? Why the fuck would you want to see the Pistons the Celtics the first match? Get your confidence up, get the experience a little bit. You might feel a little confident going in and now. We get it going now. We got the atmosphere going now. We get that vibe.
There is no atmosphere that's gonna save you from the Celtics.
I'm just saying, CJ.
Y'all better put some respect on.
I see both,
bro. Y'all better put some respect on these. Saying, we talked about this before, bro. They are, and I will say this. They are one of the toughest teams to match up with in history because of they've adjusted and found a team for this style and era of basketball, and it's tough to guard.
1,000%.
It's having Porzingis out on the 3-point line. He's 7'3". That's OD.
Mid-range.
Tatum is at your 4.
It is hard.
Brown is at
4s are guarding him.
Brown's at your 3.
And you got those
he's playing defense too, and then you have two of the best defensive guards in the league on as your other 2. Come on now, and now you got Pritchard's been coming into his own. Come on, bro.
They don't got a deep bench, though.
Bro.
What
do you need? What do you need a bench for if you can always have one of them in? It's not like you got to take that 5 out. No. It's like you can always have like a mixed match of them in.
At any given time, like opposite of Brown and Tatum, could drop 20 to 30 points on you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All 4 of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the hard part. Like, that's all. I'm not saying that. All I'm trying to say is I would love to be caught at the
end
5,
of it,
6 seed rather than the 7, 8 seed trying to see the Celtics.
I don't think you guys would be a 7, 8 seed. I don't think you guys would be a 7, 8 seed.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather that. Build some chemistry. We might be going against. I feel like we could beat the Knicks. I feel like Pacers is beatable too in that position. And then we get some energy going into the second.
Pacers didn't get better from last year.
Nah, they look like they stagnant.
They didn't get better from that. And with this type of NBA, I feel like the Celtics was probably the only team that could have probably stayed the same and still competed. Everybody else, you got to get better. You got to get better.
So CJ, what you see it as?
I do like the Pistons because Cade is someone that can take over a game, and historically, when you have someone, and that's why the Celtics are also so good, because you have like a Jason Tatum or a Jaylen Brown that can kill from the mid-range, can get to the basket and hit the 3, and like what you have to have a 3-level scorer. We saw it with Kawhi in Toronto, obviously Kobe, Jordan, and like Cade is a 3-level scorer that can also give you a triple-double almost any night
from the point guard position.
Yeah, and that team is athletic as hell. Like
very
the young,
defensive-minded.
very defensive-minded. They got toughness. I do like the Pistons as a sleeper. And then I know Paolo was out for a long time, but the Magic could be a sleeper. They have length that even in the NBA, most teams don't have. And
they like the Orlando of the old.
I never even look at Orlando. I've been trying to catch them.
They was sleep. They was sleep. They was around. They was sitting in the 4th seed last year at one point.
And they were young as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like similar to the Pistons right now.
Paulo was wilding last year.
Paulo's one of those. He's one of them.
He is?
Yeah.
I
promise.
No, bro.
No, I promise.
I'm trying to catch
bro.
it. I don't know. It's,
Bro scores with ease. He gets
he-
to the basket with ease, and he does everything, bro. And he finds people. He's one of those people that just like I said, makes the game look easy at the NBA level at such a young age. Not many people can do that.
He came in. He's probably one of the most NBA ready prospects we've had in a long time. He was a number 1 pick. He just hasn't gotten the coverage he deserves. 6'10", 250 with his skill set.
Yeah, and
Franz too.
yeah, right now they're
That's
sitting
2
at
guys.
Franz
6'10". They're the
Wagner,
8
yep.
seed.
Yeah,
and so
they
they're not
play.
gonna beat the Celtics, but or the Cavs. I don't know if they beat the Cavs either. But
yeah,
fully
no.
healthy, like they could make it interesting. Maybe 6 games with the Cavs. Like, I could see it.
yeah.
But
I like the
I don't
Cavs
know.
for him. I like the Celtics Cavs obviously, just because. Again, I like to applaud Donovan Mitchell's change in his game. I'm gonna keep applauding it because I used to give him slack for it, but dog, I love the way you play basketball now.
Shouts out to our
And it
episode
might-
45.
It might be, it might be because of the system. Like you're in like a better system to where you have people that you can honestly pass the ball to score. But I'm happy for it. Like having Darius Garland get the ball out of your hands, and then now when you do have the ball in your hands, if you don't have like the best shot, you're not just like overkill dribbling. And I love that for your game, and I love that for the Cavs. You guys are the Cavs that I thought you were supposed to be last year. If there's anybody who can give the Celtics a run for their money, it's you guys.
They got 2 athletic bigs.
Yeah, that's Jared Allen and Mobley.
Yeah.
Mobley, I love Mobley's game.
Better.
He's tough.
Definitely got
He's
better.
tough.
So that's what I'm saying. And they've been beating up on each other though. Celtics in Cleveland this year, so they've been going back and forth. It's just hard for me to see a team to beat them in a 7-game series.
And I've loved.
But sleeper is Pistons. I'm a jinx too, CJ. So I really didn't want to say it, but today I don't know if
That's
you see my
real.
He done messed it up. He done messed it up.
Go
See,
downhill, fall
Yep.
off a
Mhm.
cliff.
But I really do see my team Pistons as a sleeper.
I like y'all. I like your team. What I like most about your team is Cade, Durant, and the Thompson twin. I love the Thompson twins.
Man.
I think they do it all. They play both sides of the ball, and neither one of them need like plays ran for them to be able to score. They cut back door. They get offensive rebounds, and they push the floor. They can go They can go coast to coast. I love the Thompson twins games.
is
Oh
there.
my gosh. So, and Coop don't think so, but I think he's one of the like big reasons of their success. Cade, yes, but having to have somebody
If we
that
took it defensively, yeah.
yeah, definitely
I mean,
defensively, but offensively too, because I don't need the ball to score. I don't need you to draw a play up for me to score. That shit is valuable. That's just valuable. You can like dog, he plays both sides of the ball, like I said before, but again, he's just that in-between player that's always in the right spot. Always in the right spot, and he's a game changer when the game's close. He's that type of player that you guys are up 2 and ball comes off the rim, the other team's supposed to get another possession, but he ends up getting a putback. So now you guys are up 4. So like that, the swing of that, it just makes it a whole lot different. They're gamers. They're gamers in their and like I said before, and I'm gonna stand on this shit. They're franchise changers. Houston was not good, and neither was Detroit before they both got there, bro. Real shit.
I can't say that yet. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. About
I'm not saying it's causation.
Fair. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's causation, but
it's a thought process and saying.
But it's
they are a big part.
they're part of the solution. They are part of the solution.
1,000%
And I'm not saying that they are the only main cause, but they are definitely a part of the solution. And they're both twins on different teams on different coasts.
I would say if
Big
we go by
coincidence.
pie, I will give them about to 30 to 40.
And
that's
that's big.
because that's big.
That's
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
I can take that.
Yeah, 30 to. Because
That's all I'm saying,
that
bro.
defensive, like the lengthiness that he has, he could match up probably 1 through 5.
And that's all I'm
You know what
saying,
I'm saying?
bro.
Like so I'm just thinking the defensive mind because offensively I would like him to work on his game for next year. Even so, you could be running those plays or whatever. But he did. He did. He did. He did help out. But yeah, that's I guess all the same sentiments.
Celtics, Cavs.
Yeah, across the board.
All right. Who we got for the West? Now this one, we gonna have some different opinions on this one. I already know. Anybody want to go first?
You want me to go first?
I got Lakers, Clippers. My fault. I just
like
jumped
that.
out. I got Lakers, Clippers.
Hot take. I like that.
Yeah,
though.
I got Lakers.
The Clippers are playing great basketball this year.
Yo, and you know what the bullshit is? See, my fault. Before you start,
You good.
bro, I called this shit out already weeks ago, and you watched the pod, bro. But I called this shit out weeks ago when I was talking about Chris. I was like, yo, the Clippers really are nice, and you know what the funny thing, son, just came across. I don't care. I don't care about their seeding. Once they start talking about it on ESPN, it's a possibility. I don't care. I saw it come up on ESPN the other day that the Clippers championship talks and them having the correct team to be able to make a championship run. I talked about this weeks ago because of how I saw them set up with my boy Chris.
That's right.
Yes, they have the team for it, and Ben Simmons is a sleeper.
Yeah.
He's a sleeper for them. Having him and Chris on the same team is wild.
Now, I don't think people really understand that. The value that those two bring defensively,
Bro.
and just come down and make the right play offensively.
Y'all gotta relax.
And they got
Bro.
scorers.
Yo.
They got
Clippers ain't
experience.
coming out the first round.
Nah.
If they in the play-in and they going against those OKC boys,
They are going to pack them boys in.
Oh my God,
Bro, they're going to pack OKC
I
in.
hope they played them.
Bro, the Clippers are going. Yo, if the Clippers are healthy, Kawhi's playing, they are going to pack OKC in.
Here's your problem where it lies. If Kawhi is playing, you never know what this.
But what are we talking about the Clippers without a healthy Kawhi though? You know that. You know that's my only sentiment.
When is he healthy? When is he not healthy? We don't know yet.
I'm not even talking about 100%. I'm just saying he needs to be on the court. If he's playing for that series, bro, they're punching him. They're punching him.
They have some favorable. They can probably match up the best defensively with OKC.
I would think so.
And also, OKC does not match up defensively well against them.
No, they don't.
They don't.
The game is about matchups.
Yeah, that's a nice matchup. I can see.
And I tell you one thing.
I can see that vision.
And I tell you one thing, my boy Chris, he's been doing a great job at guarding your best stars all year. And I tell you one thing. He did a great job at guarding Shy earlier in the year too. So let's just say, and then after that, if Chris is tired from guarding that, because he is a bad motherfucker. I ain't saying that Shy is just like, trust me, he's him. Yeah. He is him. But Chris did a great job on him. And then after, if Chris comes to the bench, you got Ben Simmons, who's 6'10", coming to guard him right after. If Ben Simmons buys in, like bro, like
it's a lot of.
He's been buying in already. Ben Simmons has been playing into the Clippers system. He's been again. You're gonna go look up his stats, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm just talking about buying in. What did you consider buying in?
He needs a check.
Is he?
He needs
it. Nah, he's in a contract year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What better time to play?
What better time than that?
What better time to play?
What better time than
exactly.
that?
You better stop trying to look up his stats, cool, because I'm telling you the shit don't mean nothing.
It's not.
You better leave my Clippers alone.
I'm not looking at the stats. I'm looking at the games played. That's what I'm looking at. So that would be my buy-in if I do see him playing a decent amount.
Who you got?
13. He played 13 games.
But how many has he been available? Because he was traded there.
He just came back. Yeah, he just got there.
17.8, 3.8 points. Grabbing rebounds and all that. I mean, I'm just saying, that's great.
That's what we want him to do.
They got scorers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
and he's your point guard grabbing rebounds.
That is a great. It's a lot of too much.
What ifs?
What if situations?
Marvel. It's okay.
He said Marvel.
It's okay.
So I can't put them in there. So that's yours.
That's
can't
mine.
Put them in there. I cannot put them in there.
Well, you better not put OKC. I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna switch it up too because I'm like,
nah. Okay.
I'm like,
whatever I want.
I'm going to say
I might be wild. I don't know how I leave Golden State out of there. They've been fucking balling. I can't put 3 in there though. But but the boys been balling.
I told you Golden State was gonna creep up since that.
Jimmy
trade.
there.
I said, yo, he's
Jimmy.
And once you got somebody to vibe with Draymond, Too crazy.
Yo, too crazy. Bro,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, two people that want it.
Is Steph, is Steph my favorite player right now? That's tough. That's tough.
It's hard. Golden State,
Lakers.
I kind of want to say Lakers for some reason. I think they want LeBron to be in a conference.
Shoot, they want LeBron. No, they wanted LeBron to be there when they sent Luka to L.A.
Facts.
That's what happened,
Yeah.
bro. Like I said before, they go to the LeBron and Luka goes to the rack, it draws in 3 or 4, and then everybody's open. LeBron literally got his game winner the other day by Luka going to the rack, throwing up a floater. Luka had 4 people surrounding him. LeBron was sitting there boxing out somebody who was jumping at Luka, and then just got an easy putback. They're in contention all year.
You want to know something too? Hot take: Memphis missed the playoffs this year.
Who gives a damn?
I mean, they sit in that 5th seed.
Who gives a damn?
But they're gonna make it to the play, and then they're gonna lose in the
They're not
play.
gonna make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Memphis was hurt by whatchamacallit leaving.
Fire?
Why did they fire the coach?
You want to know what I heard? Gilbert's Arenas, he be getting in his bag sometimes.
Oh, he be
So
having
I was
everything.
watching Gilbert Arenas.
Nah, that show is good.
He was
They good
he
over there.
thinks because he's the coach that they have right now is the most winningest coach in Memphis. So he thinks that he was playing Jaren Jackson a lot. Jaren Jackson is due for a big bag. So they thinking like, we don't want him to hit an all-star or get defensive player of the year because we don't want to pay him that much. So I'm guessing the coach was playing him.
And he wants to win.
And
so
he
he's
wants to
gonna play
win.
him.
That's exactly what he said. I want to
And
win.
he probably wants
So
his player to get his money.
Facts.
So they fired him like, we trying to not pay him that much. They saying like the owners are thinking from a business standpoint, coaches are thinking from a winning standpoint. When he said that shit, I'm like.
And on my player standpoint, dog, if I'm your coach, dog, you have that connection with the player because you're right there all the time.
Give a damn. You hurt my pockets and they're not a big market, so it's not like they bringing in that much money to be like, damn, I gotta.
I hope Jared Jackson go to a bigger market though.
Yeah. I wonder if his minutes went down since.
Yeah, that's something to look into.
Because if they did, then that's probably the best theory. If the minutes went down,
that's why when I seen that shit, I was like, Memphis might miss the playoffs this year.
So who's your two?
Two's is Golden State and
Lakers. I just want you to know. See, he wasn't with us in the beginning of the year.
I wasn't.
They was laughing at me for saying that we was gonna. They was laughing at me for saying we was gonna be a 4th or 5th seed. I've been calling it out all year.
right now, number 4.
They've been laughing at me.
Khalid. But this is all pre-Luka, all that situation. Y'all wasn't gonna make it with no AD. I'm sorry.
But guess what?
Y'all wasn't making it with AD.
Where we at, see? Where we at, see? Where we at right now? Where we at right now? You had NBA analysts. Y'all wilding still talking about the Mavs won that trade. LeBron and Luka are on the same team. What are y'all talking about?
No.
Y'all set that up terribly.
I said that first when I first seen it. I said,
you know what it was?
Lakers later.
It's so y'all could get those Lakers winning the championship or Lakers winning the Western Conference at those good prices on those odds. That's why y'all wanted to get it while them odds was down. Okay, I see it.
I think the Lakers and Golden State, and that would be a great Western Conference.
It would be. See what you think.
That would be perfect too. Coming off the last Olympics, LeBron versus
I didn't even think about that. That's great marketing. You know they heard it for the marketing.
The NBA, that's probably what the NBA wants.
Yeah.
The Clippers ain't got no damn chance. They're gonna take them out in the first round.
I'm gonna say this: the Clippers could give themselves a favorable seed, which in the West I think matters more
1,000%
every year because they could find themselves, whether it's the play-in and they get the 7, or if they can move up to the 6 if the Grizzlies fall off, things like that. Where they're playing like the Rockets and Nuggets potentially as their first 2 rounds.
Yeah, Rockets, I think they could get them out of
They could get the Rockets, with someone like Ben Simmons on the court. That gives a matchup problem running up and down the floor for the Nuggets.
Yes,
it could
does.
be interesting at least. So depending where they end up, Clippers got a chance. And
Don't try to,
I promise you.
They got a chance.
I promise you.
That seed is gonna matter though. You're right. Like if they get the 8 seed, like they can match up with the Thunder, but keeping up with SGA game after game after game, and he's strong. Like, and they have other pieces too. It's hard for me to see the Thunder not just because how deep they are. I know they're young, they're versatile. I mean, SGA is one of those guys that.
A walking bucket.
He's just those are the you have to have the person you can just give the ball to.
But that's what I think is I think their biggest benefit is their Achilles heel too, though.
Yeah. They don't got nobody
just like
go get that bucket.
Okay.
They also watching like NBA coach talk about this the other day. We were talking about how it's easier to guard against one-on-one than it is against like actual team basketball because you have to move less. It's and it's less tiring for the defense, and then it's kind of like, all right, your percentages are gonna play out, whatever. But if nobody else is getting involved, then it makes it a lot easier. So you throw Chris and Ben Simmons on him all game to make him go one-on-one all game and make him take tough shots, and then everybody else has to find their own. He's your point guard averaging pretty much league leading in points right now?
Yeah.
Right, and honestly, they said that he would still be leading the league in points even without playing the fourth quarter. Like, bro.
Over 2,300 points on the season so far. That's crazy.
And he's your point guard. So it's just, I feel like that's easier to game plan against. And I feel like, just like you said, the playoffs is about matchups, but also game planning too, like the combination of the two. So I feel like the matchups and the game plan they could work in the Clippers. I see it working in the Clippers' favor. I really don't see OKC beating the Clippers. I don't. Not with a healthy Kawhi and a healthy James Harden.
Yeah, they just have so many people they can throw up to kind of mitigate that wear and tear defensively.
And they got like the LeBron and Luka thing going on to where it's just like, all right, pick your poison. Kawhi's either going to get to the rack. James Harden's either going to get to the rack. But they have that Jackson Hayes piece and Derrick Jones Jr.
Right.
You have that piece to where if I'm here already and I can just throw the ball up, you're going to catch that oop every time. And it doesn't have to be like a possible layup or you have to come down and possibly get it swiped away. No, you're going to catch that oop every time just like Jackson Hayes would. What?
Can I say something?
You about to say something, you're going to piss me off.
The Thunder all year.
Who cares? That doesn't matter, bro.
Exactly.
Yo, the Houston Rockets used to be in the be in the regular season wilding and busting everybody ass. They used to get to the playoffs and do poop.
The Hawks with Corver and Al Horford, same thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And the Hawks even when Trae Young early in Trae Young's years because they were good.
I just don't see them beating them in the 7-game series. That's all I'm trying to say. You can catch one, maybe two. That series might be 4-2, if at best. You're gonna have 4.
What, the Clippers and the Thunder?
Thunder, yes. That series might 4-2 at best.
We could bet on it. We could bet on it.
Well, on the series,
you know I don't bet often.
To see who win or see who the series.
Cool. What's the difference?
Because you could say, yo, you got to give me like 2 games or something like that. 4-2.
No, if I'm betting at the beginning, if they play in a series and I'm betting at the beginning of the series, Kawhi's healthy. Again, that's my only stipulation. If Kawhi is healthy, we're good.
Okay.
Because James Harden going to play to get the bag no matter what.
Okay.
Even if he play half-ass, he going to play to get the bag no matter what.
1,000%. 1,000%. So you might get Kawhi for 1 game. I'm interested. No,
hey,
that's cool.
Kawhi went one.
Yo, we don't know why he's hurt. We don't know why he's sitting out.
Yo, Kawhi, and I'm gonna have to just give it up, dude. I'm gonna have to just be like, yep. But yeah.
I need to get my money back because Spurs ain't making playoffs, so I need to make some money.
The Spurs. That's crazy.
I said the Spurs were gonna make the playoffs. That was early in the year. I made
they would have with Wemby.
That would have been a fair.
They would have with Wemby.
I agree. I would have agreed with that. I think the one thing against the Lakers, I heard Stephen A. Smith say it today, and I did not know this. He said since they got Luka, the Lakers have not beat a team that's over 500, and that does scare me a little bit. Just because I've got to figure out like what's that all about. But they also just as time goes on.
I think you get a different LeBron in the playoffs.
I agree with that. And you got two. They got to get used to each other as well, just as a unit.
You got that dude Jackson. AR plays pretty well, too. He's benefiting, I think, the most from this trade. So I think Haruchi, I always call him Haruchi
Hachimura?
Yeah.
Rui.
Rui.
Nah, Rui's tough.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He can hit open shots, corner shots, and he could get the boards and things.
He played D2.
I don't think they will find a problem in the playoffs. I think this is the weird time where people are just ready for the playoffs. The top seeds that know they're in the playoffs be like, we in there, we waiting for the playoffs at this point in time. So I don't know.
You're not breaking regular season records.
I don't think it's nothing really. I mean, they still got something to work for because the seedings is so freaking small right now with the West. But I like Lakers making it to the Western Conference.
Yeah, I don't see that problem that Stephen A sees.
Yeah,
I really don't. It's just tough for me to be able to imagine again. With how gravitational of players LeBron and Luka both are, that once one of them goes to the rack and the other one doesn't, or the other one is like cutting down after, to be able to stop both of those and still be able to stop Jackson Hayes and still be able to stop AR out on the outside, it's really pick your poison. And and you're picking your poison with efficiency. Facts. I'm starting out like I'm getting close to the rim, and then I'm deciding if I'm shooting a 3, it's only because AR is wide open out there, or Luka's coming down shooting like his contested like his hezzy pull up, and that's an efficient shot as well over the years, especially in big game moments. So I really don't see the problem that Stephen A is seeing from like a pure basketball standpoint, and I understand like the 500 thing, but I also think that comes with those teams that are over 500 have been like established and playing well all year.
Facts.
There's a mid-season trade that's right before the trade deadline, and just like you said, giving it a little bit of time will help, and you have defensive, like they have to have time to set up their defensive schemes. They were one of the better defensive teams in the league while Ann Davis wasn't even playing, so throwing Luka in there, I don't care what nobody says. People talk about Luka's defense, and I've talked about Luka's defense. Throwing him in with the best players in the world, as long as he buys in and tries to like beat people to certain spots, or like tries to like bait people into taking like the shots that they want him to take, I think they'll be okay. I don't think you can be and I'm not saying that he's a bad defender, but I don't think and I'm just saying just because of his size, I don't think you can be a worse defender on a championship team than Steph Curry probably. I don't think he's going to be a worse defender, and they still won it.
What's the biggest buy-in in being in the NBA Finals?
Bro, first of all, there is
in the finals getting ass whooped, man.
You're in the finals and you ain't got no. Like, you have Kyrie for your backup. But at the same time, that Celtics team, and I told y'all this, y'all motherfuckers didn't listen. I told y'all this, that Celtics team was a bad matchup for that Mavericks team. It was a terrible, again, Tatum plays the 4. The Mavericks have no outside shooting to match up with the Celtics outside shooting from their taller positions. And the Mavericks have the guards that are supposed to be matched up. The Celtics had the guards that are supposed to be matched up with 2 of the best scorers in the world. Yeah, we got 2 of the best defenders in the world, and you guys don't have defenders guarding our best scorers.
Right. I'm the only one that picked the Mavs last game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. So I'm like, I'm the only one.
It was just you.
I was the only one that picked Mavs, man.
But I was hating. I was just somebody else. No, Cash didn't pick the Mavs, but Cash said that the Mavs would get more games than they did. Yeah, it was somebody else that said that they would.
Picked Celtics as far as winning the whole thing, but
yeah.
I guess so. LeBron is subpar with his defense when he wants to. Jackson, he's not an AD, but you get a decent enough AD.
I think he might be better for the team than AD. He's more available and he requires less. He requires less money. He requires the ball less, and he's going to do exactly what you say. He's like Dwight Howard was for us when we won the last championship.
I don't know
Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. There you go.
Yep.
I don't know why nobody want to sign this man.
It's outside of basketball.
I know it's outside of basketball.
And we are called Keep It a Buck, but we are also trying to stay on the air. Remember that.
Howard shit.
So we don't go too far outside. Yeah. But, oh man, but yeah. All right, so that's NBA talks for the day. We'll get into the Ray Nexus real quick. That's our stocks and crypto portion for the day. To start out, none of this is financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research and make sure that you try to seek out a financial advisor if you have if you don't know where to go. Don't just go online and just look some stuff up and be mad that you lost money. Just please go seek out a financial advisor. And honestly, that's come of benefit to like today's day and age too. They're starting to get more into crypto assets and Bitcoin, so they're starting to be able to expose people to that. I know one of my financial advisor friends tipped me on that. So, for crypto prices are down still. Bitcoin's in the 80,000. Solana's around like 120 something. XRP's around $2. So the cryptos are down. Good buying opportunities. We're still in extreme fear for the fear and greed index. These are, again, and y'all gonna hear me be redundant on this because when these things go back up, I'm gonna just play these clips back over and over of me being in different stuff saying the same thing. These are the best times to buy winning assets, things that you think and have done research on that have won for a long time and are set up to properly be in the future. So things that have to do with technology and then also AI, healthcare, things that are going to have been here for a long time. And then again, like I said, things that can sustain themselves for the future. So just to give you some topics like I usually do, you have artificial intelligence, you have cryptocurrency, you have real estate. Tip for real estate. They said in 10 years, 80% of the U.S. will be renters. So if 80% are renters, that means 80% of the U.S. is going to need places to live. So if you want to get into real estate, now is the better time to get into it because it's going to keep going up in valuation as a whole, and it's going to keep pricing lower income people out of being able to get real estate. For stocks, same thing. Stock market's down, Dow's down, S&P's down. Take these time to do your research and again, look into great companies. Nvidia is down and has been down, but the stock market and all charts, if you look at the charts, it shows you like where the stocks go down or like when some of the momentum lines break each other, it shows you where the stock is going to go down. So if you see the stock in a downturn, you can usually look to a chart, and that's the reason why. I know they push out a lot of news, but the stock moves in waves of how it is on the chart. So make sure that you always look at that before you think that anything is just supposed to, like you're supposed to just get out of a stock, because they always have their drawdowns to where they always go back to the last their previous all-time high before their new all-time high. So that drop down can be measured usually. Yeah, Nvidia has sold all of their chips for the year. I know I've mentioned that before, but that's just something that keeps you guys motivated and just like lets you know that yes, Nvidia is down, but it won't be down forever. And it won't be down for the longest period of time. So the best time to try to build a position is when it's down in these dollars, and don't wait to see if it's going to go back up. Again, this is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. There's plenty of places to do research. Just make sure you do it. And again, make sure you seek out a financial advisor if you need help. All right. Do we have any advice for the youth today? Coop, I know you give out. Well, I know CJ does too. Y'all talk to the youth all day. You got any advice?
I'm burnt. Nope. Ain't got none.
I think young people are pulled in so many directions today, and I think pressure now. I personally can't imagine whether it's as a basketball player, student, whatever, the pressure that is weighing down on young people now. Every move is monitored. Like we talked about earlier, the instant gratification is at an extreme. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for young people to like just remember everyone's on their own journey, and things are so comparable nowadays because all the good stuff is online, and like celebrate that success, of course, and also recognize like timelines are different for everyone, and we're all figuring it out at our own speed, and we're going to end up where we're supposed to be. I've hit bumps where I'm like, damn, like, where do I go next? Like, I don't know. And next thing you know, like, things work out. Like, you just keep putting your best foot forward. And, like, sometimes I think it's important to just go outside a little bit more than staying on the phone. Just as not to be that old person, you know, but it's like real life is happening. And not that what's happening online isn't real, because it very much is. But
especially in terms of today.
And I think for kids now, like, it's all they've known. And so I think it's just important to, like, just remember, like, you're on your own path. Everything's going to be all right. It's a lot to balance, but you build the skills, you build the strength to do that. So I'll say something along those lines.
I like that.
It's great. I respect it. For myself, it'll be you have time to be successful and you have time to work, but you don't have time to waste. So these are going to be like playing into what CJ's saying too. It's making sure you're doing the work, making sure you're finding a process, making sure you're being consistent with that process, and know that the foundation that you laid for that process was laid for a reason. Just having your plan, having, like CJ, what we talked about with CJ earlier, hyper-focusing on that plan and finding every aspect of your life that could possibly be able to aid your goal in what you want to do is going to be of benefit to you. So definitely make sure you keep pushing and make sure that everything that you're going to do just stays in line. You stay consistent, and everything will work out, honestly. Life is not easy, and it's tough trying to find out who you are amongst social media, amongst your friends, your family, and different outside groups. But just give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace and be confident in who you are, because that'll just, the more confident you are and the more loving you are, the more love you're going to get, and the more confidence you're going to continue to have and be able to instill into other people. I know that I've always tried to, like, lead with confidence, because I know that there's people under me that are watching that I don't want to grow up and not be confident. So appreciate you, C. This has been a great interview. Again, I'm going to always say we always get the best people to interview. You guys are not interviewing better people than us. He is made a system that is a full circle system where we talk about being able to reap the benefits of a system. He's created that and has different pieces, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. I call him Mr. New London Basketball still for a reason. Trust me, bro. He is a great basketball mind and a lot of knowledge, and I'm just so thankful that you were able to take the time and be able to come up here. We're trying to do, like, maybe, like, crossover episodes. So I know Jordan's talked about coming on here while Pels is here. Well, I'd love to have, like, a discussion with you and Jason, or, like, you and Jordan, and just anything that would be of benefit to be able to help, because honestly I think connecting you and Jason on one platform for the audience would be great, especially for your girls, your group of girls and all the group of girls in the ECC, but even for Jason's group of girls and that whole, like, NCAA that has girls looking up to them and stuff too, and know that 100%. There's always eyes on them, and you guys are there to help. Like this, like, again, I be going on a ramble sometimes, bro, because I don't even got the words for it, but I really appreciate you, bro, for real.
I appreciate you.
I do.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you dropping by, man. Definitely drop some knowledge and some gems. So I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
Definitely do, man. Definitely, I can't wait to have you back, bro. And we got the Coach Parker one loading too. Trust me, that's on the way. That's on the way soon. I can't wait for that one. But thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again, and comment. And hopefully by the next time we see y'all, we'll have 1,000 subscribers. And when in doubt,
Keep it a buck, yo. Make sure you subscribe to my man's YouTube.
Yes, Slept On Sports, please.
Slept On Sports.
Slept On Sports.
YouTube, run up them numbers for us, man.
Yes, and every time that we have a highlight that comes from Slept On Sports, it will be tagged, so make sure that you guys follow.
All right.
Thank you.